good. I think that's cool. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. I'm gonna get this study on. It's 7 in the morning. You sleep or are you awake? You sleep or are you awake? You're gonna give it a grace period. Oh, it's 7:02. It's on the 9. It's on the 9. 7:02. We on the 9, man, mathematically. Yep. We on the 9 mathematically. So I'll give it a couple minutes. Oh, let me get this started. Give everybody a minute to get on. Oh, yeah. What did he do with it? Oh, I didn't even see it, man. Yep, there we go. I got it right there. We're gonna do a good history lesson today. Yeah. In the morning. We're gonna do it all month for y'all. We'll do it all month. Yes, sir. Get me. Oh, yeah, I got my tea. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're gonna see if we can get some people up this morning. We're gonna see if we can get some people up this morning. This morning teacher. Let's see who we can get. Get a couple of our people. I try to share this stuff before instead of just doing it on college campus with those that's going to school. That's why I tell people everybody know about what I'm saying except our own people. I don't know if the camera's better like this. Let me see. I gotta work on that. And I gotta get a better device, I think. I don't know. I think that's cool. I don't know if it's crooked or nothing. Is the camera sideways when I do it like this? Or is this better? I don't know. Give me the line. If it is, if it's not, if it's upside down, I turn it. But when I did it like that, it seems like the screen is wider. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. It could or it couldn't, but I don't know. But we'll give it a second, man, and we're gonna give it a little quick history. That's why I tell everyone when I speak, please keep your thinking cap on, please, because I challenge you to study. That's the only thing I challenge you to do, and I challenge you to move that hate and that dogma and use your brain. Okay, thank you, Noble. I'm glad you said so. I gotta figure that out, so I'll turn it back. Thanks, Noble. Peace and love in this morning. Peace and love. But let me do my Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my guide, my protector, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Shalom Alakim, Ayah Ash'ar, Ayah, peace, 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 Assalamu alaikum, Hotep, Shalom Alakim, Alakim Shalom. Whatever name you give it praise, man, it's all good with me, man. As long as the heart is pure. But hey man, I told everybody the pendulum swing both ways with me. And if we're gonna teach both perspectives. So we don't pick and choose and try to say, this is the cause of this, and that's the cause of that. So I want to be clear. Also, a lot of nobles been asking me about, how I wrap my turban, and I say, yeah, I provide them. This is just long, but I wrap turbans all type of ways. So when somebody would ask me, is that a cap turban? No, it's not a cap turban. Those are what a lot of ladies wearing things, which, hey, it is what it is. But I tell people the reason why a lot of guys that's Moors don't wear the turban because some of them won't take the time to learn how to wrap them. And so it's easy to just put a cap on your head. When you tie your turban, see, that's spiritual and it takes time. And when you wrap your turban, you get into a certain type of a spiritual essence to where your turban comes out so beautiful every time, depending on your base, depending on how you root it from the beginning on your captor or your crown. So depending on how you hold the base from doing it, or if you have two ways, say if you have it long, I don't feel like doing it again because it's going to take a minute. But you can twist, 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 have two hanging, or twist, 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 tuck it in, or twist, 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 hang it like this. So you should want to learn how to wrap your turban. And if you don't know how to wrap your turban, I'll teach you. There's nothing wrong with being guided. So you can have pleasure at home, so you can wear your turban all the time. A lot of times when it's hot, I live in Arizona, I don't wear my fez all the time because I sweat a lot. But I definitely wear my turbans all the time, all through the summer, because it keeps me cool. And I wrap them all type of ways, man. I wrap my turban big because it's like a lot of times when it's super long, I'll tie it to the door, have it hanging, and I just wrap, boom, 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 boom. And I can wrap it around here. So this will be, my mask. And I wrap it around here. I stick it in right here, boom, boom, boom. So it's just so many ways. Get used to doing these things. So I just had to say that. But the teaching, y'all, I do not mean to laugh, but I told y'all with me the pendulum swings both ways and nothing's new under the sun. See, people be getting shocked, and I'm gonna start just showing y'all everything. It's nothing new. A person or a group of people will hold books up and say, see, this book cost this, and this is where this been hidden. Man, and I don't brag. Anything that a person have, a scholar will have them. Why? Because they're introduced to it. The books is in a certain area. So you have to be introduced to the area where you can walk in and just get the books and have them. And they'll give them to you. And then turn you on to the source where to get the books for free and print them and download them. See, and if any of my members on here, yeah, Solomon is on here, he know exactly what I'm saying. So when I teach, I tell everyone, nobody has the power to just come and take you over without some type of conforming from someone that looks like you. It happens all over the world. My brother, to my cousin, to everyone was killed by their own kind. From Patrice Lumumba in the Congo, from the so-called African American Summit when they okayed that you was black, to the Big Six, all this stuff, and even deeper and deeper and deeper. So I want to clear some things up because I always give gratitude where gratitude is due. But when people speak of things, I get hit up. Was like, well, okay, I want to hear it from a perspective, not just somebody trying to program me or telling me this is right, but give it to me in a way as a teacher and a person that can say, okay, I can have an intelligent conversation with this person. And I can say, okay, I can agree to disagree, or I can agree all the way, but I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to build. I'm here to fulfill. So the first thing I talk about in our Moorish Quran, when we talk about the Harbinger or a John the Baptist per se, and we use the character or the brother of Marcus Garvey. When they use Marcus Garvey in that manifestation, it's like, how can I say it? A harbinger. a John the Baptist, someone that's coming to prepare the table, someone or something or anything that's coming to give you the idea of having your own, giving you the idea of having a flag. They might not have been all the way correct with it because they might not have understand the whole manifestation of what they were doing. But these figures gave you the idea of doing something right. So when we try to just attack and say, well, what about the good these people did? Because I can go across the stage and everybody that we hold up have done something prior. But what we like to do, we like to pick and choose and say, see, this person was this and this person was that. And I'm like, listen very clearly what I'm saying. You have people saying, no, Boudreaux Ali was a con artist. I said, well, what was hell was Malcolm X? What he was doing? Con artist activities. I mean, we can talk, I can go across the board. So when we do things and coming out of the darkness to the light, you got to respect that. When a person came out of the darkness into the light, you have to respect that. If not, then you don't understand nothing. You don't understand the example of the nation, because right on the cover it says coming out of the fire. And understand the fire, you have to been going through the fire to be able to illuminate the fire. So as I'm speaking, you got to understand, man, when I talk about historical things, when you be like, aha, when I shared this with my nobles, I told y'all to read Let My People Go. You know, it's by a so-called racist European back then named Ernest Cox. And people try to bring things up, and I said, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. Back then and today, when you want to do some separate stuff, like the so-called, when no disrespect, the Nation of Islam wanted to be some separate, and we finna go back to here and all that. And if they were proclaiming to do that, certain powers that be, certain Europeans that agree with what you was saying about getting the hell out of here and taking your black bleep to Africa, they was with that. No disrespect. And the third revised message from white men who wish to keep the white race white to black men who wish to keep the black race black, including the terms of an alliance between these groups against the whites who wish to mix with the Negroes and the Negroes who wish to mix with the whites. Cox, an unabashed racist, was founder of the White American Society. This little book was the result of conversations with Marcus Garvey and is dedicated to him, a martyr for the independence and integrity of the Negro race. Garvey's alliance with Cox and the Grand Dragon of the Klan cost him a great many of his followers. See, this ain't hate, this ain't slander. I tell people, the pendulum swing both ways with me. I don't pray to no man. I deal with the good of people. Because when you're talking that separate stuff, it's like people talking about that back to Africa shit. You don't even know what you talk about. They won't. And I tell you, I'm a Moorish American. I'm a Moorish American. I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm telling you what I know, man. And so I want people to calm down and be like, hey, man, our prophet and Marcus Garvey gave the idea, even though he might not have been all the way correct with what he was doing. But look at a lot of people that's doing things that's not all the way correct. And then we know it and we won't say nothing. And we'll pick and choose and try to destroy people that's gone and gave us the idea of having a flag. When he created the UNIA flag, gave you the idea of doing these certain things. A lot of people in those times were compromised. So I just want to be clear on those things. Because if you was down with that going back to Africa stuff, hey, listen, man. Hey, look. Come on, man. Come on, man. This no slander, this education. This education, man. So somebody was asking me something else now, because I know a lot of people. And listen, when I was getting my dual master's degree at GCU, I told people I was allowed to go to a lot of museums. I used to have a lot of stuff on Instagram, and I used to go to the Greek museums, and I used to show how when I used to walk in the back, they got all the monuments of the so-called Jesus. You know what I mean? With all the disciples, blackening all outdoors, big noses. You know what I mean? And then when people, I tell you, man, people love to talk. No disrespect to nobody, man. I just have to speak what comes to me when other uh, things come about, and they say, well, hey, man, do you know such and such, such and such, such and such may have or may have not all the things that a person talking about be aligned with certain things? And I knew where he was going. I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, what you mean aligned? He was like, listen, man. He was like, you know what I mean? And I was like, what? And he was like, Scientology. And I'm like, here we go, you know? And so a lot of those things people don't really understand. And really, 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 we're not getting into because we're not into it and we're not able to speak eloquently on that when people will lull you to sleep with the same thing that they've been telling you for 100,000 years, that you black and you not. I'm telling you, man, I can show you all the locations where things be held at with the people. I can show you certain Muslims that went to these places and to these Scientologies events. No disrespect to no one. I'm telling you. But hey, it'll all come to the light. It'll all come to the light. And you will see what I'm talking about. I don't even have to jump all into it. But people that know what I'm talking about. I can quote certain people that was into it, like Jesse Muhammad, 34-year-old writer and community organizer who joined the Nation of Islam as a teenager at the urging of his older brother. Had driven overnight from Houston for the event. What event? Research it. He took his goals seriously. Those who follow Farrakhan, see, this is public information. I did a whole lecture when they tried to say no disrespect to no one, because if whatever your religion is, so be it. But you can't tell me nothing that you ain't read when they say a certain type of Islam is the black man religion. And I say, well, not the Islam you talk about ain't mine, because I'm not black. And it ain't no disrespect to no one. I'll tell anybody that to their face. And for those that believe in that certain type of Islam, they trust that they certain leaders guide. So they jump to it. That's what he said from his writings. And after 3 weeks of intensive training with Scientologists in Houston, he became certified. The Nation refused to comment for his story, but according to the newspaper, The Final Call, as of this spring, more than 1,000 members have been certified authors, and another 4,000 were studying some aspect of Scientology. I mean, can't nobody be mad at this stuff. Be public information, man. I'd be laughing like, dude, if you doing anything and you love it and it's from the heart of Allah, why we deny anything we do? Why would we deny anything we do? Another, I don't know if this brother is a real Nation of Islam. This is what he say. So this is what he say. I'm taking their writings as a scholar saying, well, what about this? What about this? And people that's part of these organizations, I'm like, okay, let's lay it on the floor. Because I don't follow no man. I follow the science. And it never was a time when man was not. I don't follow no man. I'm my own God. And ain't no disrespect. I respect all the laws and the prophets. A former assistant nation minister told me that years ago, he'd heard from a top official that headquarters was flirting with a misnomer white church in LA. And this is what they saying. Initially, Farrakhan never mentioned Scientology in public. Instead, he cryptically alluded to the study of technology that would help his people. His caution made sense. After all, the Nation was explicitly conceived as a black separatist organization and a repudiation of Christianity, which Nation leader and prophet Elijah Muhammad derided as the slave master religion. Farrakhan himself called misnomer, those people, a race of devils. Now, this is what I gotta ask, man. No disrespect to no one. No, because I just want to ask you a question. I don't see nobody as the race of the devils, because your own people can be the devil, is the heart. And when you look in a so-called urban community, Negroes killing Negroes. You could take every European, Albion, Trilodite, caveman, whatever you want to call them, off the planet of Earth, and Negroes still would be killing each other, and some Moors too. See, this is what I know. So when a person say a person is the devil, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, come on, man. And that ain't even what we teach. in more science, the true history. If you a true Mason, a true Mason, understanding the teachings, because we look to the day when the lion and the lamb can wake up in the morning and lay down at night and no one will be harmed. Man, see, I'm here and I operate. I don't want to go nowhere else. It ain't nothing black about me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm a Moor. I operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's how I operate. I don't operate on no man-made nothing, saying nobody this and nobody that. I'm not operating like that. Because when you look at it, behind closed doors, what you doing with the people that you saying is this. When you're dealing with a certain body, that sounds like a hypocrite. That's like an oxymoron. Come on, man. It ain't no disrespect to nobody. I love everybody. But if we're going to do things for scholarship, which we can, we got to lay it on the table. I said the pendulum swing both ways with me. Come on. They talk about UFOs or the mother plane that'll eradicate all so-called, I don't rock like that. And then in their teachings, no disrespect, I have to study everything because I have to be factual. In their paper, there, one of their laws, they said they believe in the Bible, in the teaching of the Bible, but it been misquoted and must be interpreted by the elite. I'm paraphrasing. I think that's like they act number one. And then in one of them, it says, since 1930, Fire Muhammad is the Mahdi for the Christians and the Muslims. And no disrespect. And when I talk about the 9 ether, and no disrespect, ain't nobody that you can say that, but that's a 6 ether. That ain't no 9 ether. A prophet and an angel. My teaching is someone that's clothed in the flesh that look like you. No disrespect. And then you hear people say, "Oh, they ain't never even seen this figure." Oh, I would know about it. And then when I showed y'all the film, the old man was like, "And if anybody say they seen him, they lying. Ain't nobody seen him this time." So here it is. You still praying to a ghost or somebody that don't even look like you. And I ain't saying no disrespect because I'm just teaching what it is. And we are somebody that look like us that y'all know the teachings came from the prophet. That's what I'd be saying. I'm like, man, this is asinine. I mean, it's asinine. This stuff should have been over. Farrakhan said it. I mean, come on. There's no slander. This is truth. It's Misnomer History Month. We're going to teach it. So, in that book I showed y'all, Let My People Go, it's like 400. I have it. I've been having all them books, man. He got like a plethora of books. I got all of them. I tell people, I'm like, man, it's nothing new under the sun. When you elite, it's nothing wrong with being elite. I mean, and then the brother that can come down and front of universities and then come here and speak to your brothers for small donations and go all over. I told people, I said, if I'm going to be getting paid at the universities and go all these colleges and speaking, you know what I mean, that a lot of people don't understand how I do. Muhammad Ali was doing this when he got banned from boxing. Why? Because the Nation of Islam was under a certain auspices, organized a certain way. I'm telling you. And most colleges, universities, they have funds for lecturers to come. Just like and when comedians got on the circuit, How to Get Big, you was going on that college circuit. And if you got booked for them college circuits, man, it was on. Just like when Puffy Knee was coming out, they was on the college circuit. Everybody know what I'm saying? That's how you got hot back in the day. I'm a 90s baby. So I just took the approach of going to the academia, organizing myself, setting myself up, as a scholar, as an educator, and the students, they request me to come speak on a plethora of topics. So it's just what it is. And I travel, I do all that and teach, but in the right setting. So I'm going to teach a little history, and I hope everybody got their pencils and their papers when I say, man, history, and how history sometimes wasn't taught by our own and it be covered up. When I say everything is modeled after what you did. When I showed y'all America in black and white, how they whitewashed Oliver Cromwell and Peter Salmon out of the pictures, not the European Oliver Cromwell, but the more Oliver Cromwell and Peter Salmon out of the Battle of Bunker Hill. So now watch this. This stuff was printed in the papers, printed in the Raleigh News and Observer, November 10th, 1898. If y'all ready, say y'all ready, man. Come on, man. Come on, talk to me, man. Talk to me. Thanks for the donation. If I'm teaching, man, somebody say I am. If I'm not, I'll leave, man, and just teach my people, man, in class. Am I impart knowledge? And is it wisdom? That's all I'm asking my brothers and sisters. Because I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. I'm gonna show y'all on the college campus how it be though. It'd be way different, man. But believing that the Constitution of the United States, believing that the Constitution of the United States contemplated a government to be carried on by the enlightened people, believing that its framers did not anticipate the enfranchisement of an ignorant population of African origin, and believing that the men of the state of North Carolina who joined in forming the Union did not contemplate for their descendants a subjection to an inferior race. We, the undersigned citizens of the city of Wilmington and the county of New Hanover, do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by men of African origins. This condition we have in part endured because we felt that the consequences of the war of succession were such to deprive us of their fair consideration of many of our countrymen. I hope you seeing what I'm saying. See, when I teach history, how these group of people, came together legally and lawfully, the same way you can do in your community before they come and colonize it and buy it all up. Right now, how I organize in my neighborhood, I bring people together, how I own damn near a whole block. I say we can buy our community. It's tennis shoe money. They don't want it. You're going to come let these developers come around after you done let your kids and they kids and all these crackheads and everybody come tear your neighborhood up and let these developers come in and buy your whole neighbor, damn near the whole block, all the blocks in your hood for a measly $1 million and then redevelop it. And you ain't bought your neighborhood for tennis shoe money? You ain't came with nobody organized and be like, hey, man, I need to donate to this so we can buy the neighborhood and we can change the neighborhood? But we don't listen. We just want some clothes and shit, excuse my candor, and argue with each other. Let me tell you what we were. I'm showing you who we were. Just like when we talk about some slavery, man, the pendulum swing both ways with me. You got white cargo. You got they were white and they were slaves. You got the Arab slave trade when them Arabs, them pale skins, no disrespect, was enslaving the Africans, misnomer Africans, which are they doing today? Period. So nobody can get mad at me when I be seeing brothers dyeing a beard. Just like I asked him more the other day, and he was like, Sheik, you said something so powerful the last time. And I'm like, what? He said, when you said Abib and Habibi, Abibi and Habibi, Abibi and Habibi, the AB and the HA, one of them mean black slave. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. You can't. And this is what I'll be saying when we be letting people play with you. That's just like you get some Chinese words on you and somebody say it mean this, and you don't even know what the hell that shit mean. You got black slave on your ass. Excuse my candor. Be mad at me. Real talk. We talk about some transatlantic slave trade, but what about the Arab slave trade? Who Negroes want to be so friendly with? You'll talk about some misnomer white person and all this and all that, but won't talk about that? This free information. That's why I say the pendulum swing both ways with me. We believe that after more than 30 years, this is no longer the case. The stand we now pledge ourselves to is forced upon us suddenly by a crisis, and our eyes are open to the fact that we must act now or leave our descendants to a fate too gloomy to be borne. while we recognize the authority of the United States and will yield to it if exerted, we would not for a moment believe that it is the purpose of more than 60 million of our own race to subject us permanently to a fate to which no Anglo-Saxon has ever been forced to submit. What? That no white man being ruled by no Negroes. That's what they saying. I hope y'all listening to me. We therefore believing that we represent unequivocally the sentiment of the white people of this county and city, hereby for ourselves and representing them, proclaim, number one, that the time has passed for the intelligent citizens of the community, owning 95% of our property and paying taxes in like proportion, to be ruled by Negroes, that we will not tolerate the action of unscrupulous white men in affiliating with the Negroes so that by means of their votes they can dominate the intelligence and thrifty element in the community, thus causing business to stagnate and progress to be out of the question. The Negroes has demonstrated by antagonizing our interests in every way, and especially by his ballot, that he is incapable of realizing that his interests are and should be identical with those of the community. Who? The white man. No disrespect, that's what they're saying. That the progressive element in any community is the white population. That the progressive element in any community is the white population. That the progressive element in any community is the white population. And that the giving of nearly all of the employment to Negro laborers has been against the best interest of the country and city, and is sufficient reason why the city of Wilmington, with its natural advantages, has not become a city of at least 50,000 inhabitants. Moors. I try to tell y'all something, man. Like, I got so many manuals I be showing people when they be locked up, and I say, oh, and they be having brothers be saying they so heavy, and they be having court-appointed attorneys, and I say, do y'all know what ineffective assistance of counsel and how it's covered in your Sixth Amendment, and how I break stuff down? Is how I started getting their manuals and started teaching them, and then all of a sudden they be like, who are you studying? And then they be getting all that type of shit out when they be getting their rights violated in the federal pen, because I got the real manuals, why you locked up, that they written. No disrespect to nobody. You know? I know a lot. I'm telling you, when I talk about your right to fake your accuser, what is that? Is that the Sixth Amendment? And then people be confused and stuff. Habeas corpus. I say, listen, man, we break this stuff down, and I teach this in a certain setting in class with my members and students, for no one can take my words out of context. And then I have the people in those positions that verify what I'm saying. Is check. They like, he right. And I'm like, I know, because I had to do that in my oral dissertations. That we propose in the future to give the white men a large part of the employment hereon given to Negroes, because we realize that white families cannot thrive here unless there are more opportunities for the different members of the said family. That the white men expect to live in this community peacefully. Peaceably, to have and provide absolute protection for their families, who shall be safe from insult of all person whosoever. Insult from who? Do you only talking about Negroes? We are prepared to treat the Negroes with justice and consideration in all matters which do not involve sacrifices of the interest of the intelligence and progressive portion of the community. But we are equally prepared now and immediately to enforce what we know to be our rights. What? To force you niggas out. I'm telling you, this history, can't nobody deny what I'm saying. When I be telling you, if somebody got the right, I keep telling y'all, I'm already organized. This ain't no militia group. This ain't no black group spilling no hate about no white man and devil and this, that, and the other. See, I don't talk that. I say this is for educational purposes only. I'm a scientist. I don't gravitate to no one religion where I miss the science of the rest. If they put me down and cross-examining me, I'm going to come out like gold. Because one, I'm 99 degrees. So everything I'm saying, they're going to agree with off the dribble when I go to the third heaven and speak on them in that particular manner. I'm not even going to go through a lot of things. I don't even have to show up. This is what I be telling people. I'm like, dude, you don't even know what you talking about. Because anytime you open your mouth, you told. Period. I'll be telling people, I said, man, it's a higher science. I say, anytime somebody in court, that mean they being accused of a crime. You ain't gonna never see me there. I hope people understand what I'm saying. I hope people understand what I'm saying, man. The right to do it. Man, I told people before I even was doing this, man, I would go everywhere as what? Scholarship, doing journalism, to be speak from things, going to museums, going to people places, seeing them like, I see you. They see me in the back, like, like, how are you here? Like, oh, that's a student at GCU here for scholarship. Yeah. At the philosophical society, sitting in the back, like, just like this, just like this. Well, we have been in our desire for harmony and peace, blinded to our best interests and our rights. A climax was reached with the Negro paper of this city published an article to vile and slanderous that it would most communities have resulted in the lynching of the editor. We deprecate lynching, and yet there is no punishment provided by the laws adequate for this offense. We therefore owe it to the people of this community and of the city as a protection against such license in the future that the paper known as the record cease to be published and that its editor be banished from this community. We demand that he leaves the city within 34 hours after the issuance of this proclamation. You hear what I'm saying? They done made something and said it's the proclamation. Y'all got to listen, man. When you talk about you don't have the right to do stuff, and you have the right to organize legally and lawfully, I'll break the law down to you. I'm telling you, man. Second, that the printed press for which the record has been issued be backed and shipped for the city without delay. That's why having your own paper is so important. That's why I write this literature, all these books that I've done written and gathered and compiled. More as y'all don't understand this, man. What's so important? Man, the Klan had their own damn, look, man, the birth of the nation, man, and I can show y'all all the movies back then. Man, those movies was published by the Klan. That shit was propaganda to give you the idea, just like when I lectured the other day about so-called slaves. Come on, man, y'all gotta know this. Every scholar agree with what I'm saying. There's no slander. This is Americana, what they say. But the second that the printing press from which the record has been issued be backed and shipped from the city without delay, that we be notified within 12 hours of the acceptance of rejection of this demand. If it is agreed within 12 hours, we counsel forbearance of all the part of the white men. If the demand is refused, or if no answer is given within the time mentioned, then the editor Manley will be expelled by force. It is a sense of this meeting that Mayor S.P. Wright and Chief of Police J.R. Milton, having demonstrated their utter incapacity to give the city a decent government and keep order therein, their continuance in office being a constant menace to the peace of this community, ought forthwith to resign. I did not break the law down of the right law the other day, malfeasance and nonfeasance. I broke this shit down for y'all the other day. These people it's operate in the law the same way we can. The same way driving without a license, or not driving or traveling, whatever you want to say it, it's not no damn criminal offense. We be doing just spilling off at the mouth. Reply of the Colored Committee to the White Declaration of Independence. The Committee of Colored Citizens to Honorable A.M. Walden, undated, typewritten copy in Alfred M. Waddle's papers, Southern Historical Collection, University of North Carolina Library. Dear Sir, we, the colored citizens to whom was referred to matter of expulsion from this community of the persons and press of A.M. Manley, beg most respectfully to say that we are in no wise responsible for nor in any way endorse the obnoxious article that called forth your activities. Neither are we authorized to act for him in this matter, but in the interest of peace, we will most willingly use our influence to have your wishes carried out. To have your wishes carried out, what? Get your punk ass out of here and leave. Now, I can go deeper with it, but I ain't. I just wanted to give y'all that. A little quick morning history lesson. When I say don't get it twisted, do not get it twisted. I'm not here to bash nobody. But when we talk about people affiliations, man, a lot of people are affiliated with things. A lot of people that you don't know are affiliated with Scientology and the dance around it. And a lot of their members are down with Scientology. And they won't tell you. Why you think that Scientology is so rich? They be paying for that stuff. And I'm telling you, I'll show everything, man. As a scholar, when you're doing things, you can go to those places. When you in the academia and you're in a higher level, I'm telling you, I do a lot of things for scholarship. I done been all over, and I done told people, I said, you ain't finna sit up here and lie to me. People go to court and be lying. I know so many more out here in Arizona, they don't use their bay. They be in trouble. They stay rotting in jail. They be poor. So I don't play that, man. It's like, nah. I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play with nobody. I'm not gonna be here tiptoeing around things and letting somebody look at. They try to talk about the toothpick in somebody else's eye and got a log in their own eye. These people are trying to use you as a crash dummy. I talk about all this stuff, and you look at their lives. It's like, okay, well, what do you have in your community? What are kids? It's like, okay, you telling me you can't tell me what do your kid want to aspire to when they grow up? I pull their kid and say, what do you want to be when they grow up? So everything these kids want to be, have to be doing with getting some type of wisdom and education. And then you hear people dissing this the white man, this the white man. I said, dude, where did you getting that stuff from? Oh, masonry is the white man. So I said, that is goofy. So that's what I'm saying, man. Brothers be banging so hard. I said, think about it. Think about all brothers right now, y'all, that live in urban communities. Think about everybody that live in their mama house when they grew up in. Their mama might be passed or they still alive, and you stay at your mama house in the neighborhood, and all your homies stay in the neighborhood, and them Negroes don't own nothing, and they ain't the city council, they ain't the mayor, and they talk all this stuff about these laws and about what the law is, and you live in a community and nobody in a position that look like you. Nothing is happening in your area. Nothing. You don't own nothing in your community. Y'all don't own poo diddly, but banging so hard about some traffic, about them driving, and about I don't want to have no tags and all that. You bang. That's what more science is. So hard to you, and that's what I be asking people, because that ain't. I don't care about that trash. I don't care about nobody squatting in no house. That ain't my mission. Squatting in no dumbass house. And I say, okay, if you walking down the street and you see a bike sitting there and you pick up and take it home, is it yours? Did you find it or did you steal it? You got to know the laws pertaining to that area, because there's certain laws pertaining how you can do things, and there's laws in that area, and it's your fault not knowing the law, and there's no excuse. And so we can't arbitrarily explain stuff. I said, come on, man. I understand gray areas. I understand loopholes and all that stuff. I get all that. But what's your mission when you're doing that? Oh, I'm finna go get this mansion. To do what? To do what? A bum Negro and somebody, you get a big mansion to do what? That's your first thing to do what? Because if you want to get something real, I can show you how to get something real that somebody else done lost from back taxes. I can show you that. That's very simple. You got to do nothing criminal. And get a real allodial deed. It ain't nothing magical. I be telling people, I said, dude, y'all let these people that ain't real scholars come like this shit something magical, like they finna do something fucking magical, and the European been doing this forever. Why you think they don't lose their property? Why you think they keep being able to transfer it to their fucking kids? Land trust. And then having things protected in all certain ways. And when things don't go to litigation, that's a will. Come on, man. This stuff ain't no magical. When I be saying, I said, dude, none of this stuff is magical. That stuff don't cost you no whole bunch of thousands, or somebody finna do my paperwork for 4,000. You have been scammed. Man, I do that shit for $50. And it ain't doing nothing, because I don't do nothing. And when they talk about what, I say, you tell me. What you want done for $50? What you want done for 4,000? Or somebody did this. They ain't did nothing. So what, you want me to set you up as a business and help you be a business? I can do that. I damn sure can't nationalize you. You want to be a member of a school? You want school ID? I can do that. I can teach you how to proclaim and declare and wear your fez and be who you are and sign using your B and your L, the Resolution 75, and show you how the old becomes the new and show you how to do things in that manifestation. Show you how you ain't got to make no big grand appearances. You ain't going down there getting no name change affidavit. I said, who the hell told you to get a name change affidavit? If you getting a name change affidavit, you are going against your foremothers and your forefathers, and you don't know what annexing mean. Did Noble Drew Ali change his last name? He annexed it. Drew Ali. You don't get rid of your last name. That's your coat of arms, your failing crest. What have I been teaching all this time? Come on, man. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of all that bash. We got to support something that's real. And if we say we the clock of destiny and we all this, well, what are you doing in your community? Because all I see is Moore's banging hard on some traffic stuff. That's all I see. No disrespect to nobody. That's all I see is people. Oh, I want to do this. Or I want to get this piece of paper. Or I want to learn. Man, that's dope. That's dope. See how they talking to the police? Oh, man, I want to do that. Why? Why do you want to do that? And I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with people be doing. I ain't saying nothing, but why is that the only thing that people want out of this science is that? Why? Why do we think that's the Moorish paradigm? Why? Why? And show me in any teachings that we teach in any of our science, any literature, we teach in that. Show in any more science leader, we teaching any of that stuff. You can't say none of that is no teachings. What people teachings is traffic law and other things that they're not certified to teach. And you mixing truth with falsehood. Because a lot of stuff that people be talking about and making videos, they not doing it. And I mean, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it with some people. I say, okay, after you do all that, now what? I say, after you done all that, now what? Because it got to be a motive. It gotta be you going somewhere with it after you done all that. After you done scared your children with the cops there, killed your wife and all that. After you've done all that, you got to tell me what's the purpose. Please. And then I ask you, and then I know Moors. They don't even be thinking about it. I say, man, aren't you a truck driver? Yep. I said, don't you got to have licensing to drive truck? Yep. I said, you banging so hard. I said, are you gonna give up your truck driving? No, this how I feed my family. So I said, are you listening to what your goofy ass just said? So you with some people that's talking this crazy shit about this, that, and the other, but you drive a truck. And you driving that truck, getting those contracts is contingent on you having those certain licenses. Tell me I'm lying. And you gonna let some goofy ass Moor that you done met on the internet say, oh, turn that all in, and you don't need that to do all that. Yes, you do. To be picking up those damn routes, you do. Yes, the fuck you do. Excuse my candor. And whoever told you that, they a liar. Ain't no company finna let you pick up their shit without contingent on you having the proper licenses. You can structure yourself in a way. We always did business. What did Moors be talking about? We always did business. I show y'all, we was always on the land. What the hell you think a Moor was? We were always bartering. That's why we lost. It's enough of us to change this society. It's enough Moors all on this internet to turn this right here. And I tell people it's enough more to go buy one of my books on mypdfbooks.com and in 1 year, $1 million. You see what we do with it? Have a brick and mortar for people to come to, have conventions, teach the babies, share the literature. I have a whole fucking print press. Excuse my candor. A a whole print press, a whole curriculum. And I teach this to others. And so that's why I'll be so passionate, and sometimes I'll cry, because I say, man, people have no understanding of how I'll be accepted on the universities. And when you come back and teach your own people, it'd be like, it's sad, especially to a lot of Moors. I said, man, what are you trying to do with this science? Because we got these boys more be having children and things. I'm like, what is you teaching your child? You want to teach your child to grow up and for they can be banging on, I don't got to have no license. I don't got to, that's their mission? Because I hope not. I hope they be productive Moorish Americans. I hope they doing things to uplift fallen humanity. I hope they're civilizing the uncivil. I hope they understand the divine comes first. And I hope they understand that you can't arbitrarily explain the law and let them use their own mind and challenge you from what you may think or believe based on your limited understanding. Y'all feel me, man? Thanks for the donation, Noble. I give gratitude, man. And like I said, thank everyone. That's the guy out there blowing. So sorry about that. He blowing outside by my garage. But thanks everyone, man. You know, everything we use for ministry. So thank you. Cash App $KG But check out mypdfbooks.com and check out moorishhaberdasher.com. And check out bbtsciencetemple.com as well. I mean, we're here to teach, and I teach on a lot of different subjects, but I do have systematically structured classes. We do adapt teachings. We do history with my members and students. But I like to give gratitude to everyone. And man, we can't let no one convince us with their arbitrary explanation of law. You got to be real, real careful. Because the people will have you give your last name for a morsel. They'll be talking about some expatriation stuff, but won't tell you the whole truth of it. When you expatriate, that's the willing leaving affiliates with an area, a state, or whatever you want to call it. And then also, you're willingly leaving alliance to everyone. So that's what I wanted to share with us, man. I want us to calm down. I want us to relax, because the pendulum swing both ways. Get that hate out your heart, because I can show you all across the board of how people, when they talk that back to Africa stuff, that's exactly what the European wanted. You see what I'm saying? When you come with that, let's go back to Africa, that's what they wanted. And so when you start reading those writers back then, when I showed y'all Ernest Cox, and it ain't no disrespect, when how the conversation with him and Marcus Garvey, the Klan leader, it ain't no disrespect. When I tell y'all, I have to illuminate stuff. Marcus Garvey was the harbinger, the forewarner, gave you the idea. Not saying that person was all the way correct with what they were doing, but they did a good. You don't have to go nowhere. You're home. You got people today, religious people, that deal with Scientology and a dance around it and really don't understand what that's all about. I had the pleasure to be able in academia to see certain individuals and certain religious people there, Muslims there, and their eyes were like, whoa, from scholarship. I know that stuff by Scientology by L. Hubbard. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So when I graduated from GCU, I knew a lot of people that was under that. Because when you go to universities in the States, a lot of degrees are just for like certain Christian education. Like my, I don't even know what I did with it. Oh, it's right here. Like I tell people, when they come to the States, when you come to learn in academia and learn this, a lot of this stuff is wrapped up in the libraries in the medieval times and the Dark Ages. When I started getting all of the Christian books, I said, come on, man. So And y'all see my name, Kari Hakeem Goodman Bey. I did lectures at GCU. I debunked that Eurocentric propaganda with scholarship. Graduated with honors. So I ain't here to debunk nothing or tell or have you believe in something fake. I went right into university and proved who I was with people that didn't look like me. I used their books. And pulled all of it out. I went in their libraries and pulled it all out. And then all of my other affiliations from the Moorish Science Temple. As an adept, I'm not saying I'm better than no one, but I'm telling you how intensive the study is, and my studies and my makeup with IDMR. When I show you all my charts and things and all my books, man-made in the image of Elohim. This has been a life study. This ain't me just waking up playing with people and on no internet, got some copy and paste Google stuff. Like a lot, I don't need no internet. I've done the research. The true book of Eli, you can quote it and people can research it. Man, if right now, like they did in Alexandria when they were trying to destroy all the books and a lot of the libraries, yeah, they destroyed a lot of the libraries, but they couldn't destroy everything because a lot of the scholars, a lot of the sheiks, a lot of adepts, a lot of the magi's, they had their own personal libraries. And a lot of their personal libraries was big and huge and intensive as a lot of the public libraries, like mine is right now. I have over 20, 30, maybe right now, 40,000 books. Right now. And no exaggerating. It might be more. But on my hand, well, if I go to my storage, yeah, it's probably 40,000. 40,000. So, this is what I'm saying, man. We got to get back to this education. We got to get back to teaching all law. Because I haven't even jumped in history and civics and show you, correct yourself. When people be talking about they the Moorish Science Temple and they the this and that and the other and all that, I said, well, if you the Moorish Science Temple, it's only one temple. It's only one way the temple is set up. You can't be out here lying to the people saying this and that and the other and you done made this and bought this. It's only one prophet. It's only one temple. The 1010 ain't no goddamn gold trust fund at the end of the rainbow. It's a religious affidavit. Everybody be lying. And then even some of the people that wrote this, when I say I don't gravitate to no man, because if you ask me about some of the people, just like our prophet said, the European will tell you the truth, the Negro will tell you the truth too, especially if they know you know the truth. They ain't gonna do no different than nobody else. So they'll have you doing all fraudulent shit, like filing some fake ass taxes, doing a whole bunch of goofy shit, knowing something you ain't done, but Negroes just want some free stuff. And then not only you get in trouble, they'll get in trouble. But the science ain't wrong. That's why I say I ain't here to do that. And then if you taxes in for the federal government, how you trying to get some taxes back? That's why I be laughing, man. I be like, y'all is goofy. Period. Moors be lying. And then I'll look you up and show every Moor that got a job, that get a tax return every year. Just be banging for no reason. These clowns work at a job. And they can't wait every year to get that income tax money to spend it on some damn food. They lying to you. They lying. They talk about they selling some seals. They selling. You can't sell nothing. That's already established. That's fraud. That's like identity theft. Man, if you part of something, just like if you the power of attorney over someone, and I'm using and I'm talking in analogies, it's the same way the temple set up. That's for life. It's set up for life. We are the vanguards. We are adopted under this for life. It goes on. It's unbonding. Everybody know I'm telling the truth. So it's only one temple. It can be looked up in the more vital statistics. When I show this, everybody ID, if it's from the temple the same way, it should be the same. You should have 3 IDs. You should have your paperwork, your amnesty oath, your 720 degree, your bay, all that stuff. Not nothing nobody just made up. And if somebody made something up, you got to be like, yeah, we just made this up. It's okay to have the prophet charter on there, but you can't make nothing up that's already established. You can't go reinvent Gucci. It's already a Gucci. It's already copywritten. It's only one more science temple of America that the prophet set up. One. I'm a school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple is school. I'm part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Which one? It don't matter. Any temple I can go to, my ID should get me in. My paperwork come from Chicago. And is them brothers right? Some of them are. Some of them ain't right. I ain't here to bash them. But if they come with that nonsense, I will. Period. But everybody know it's only one. Everybody try to confuse you. When they talk about the 1010 number and there's some trust, and I say, okay, I'll go to the CCRD, which the county clerk, recorder of deeds, and show you that you a lie, and show you that everything you saying is a lie, and show you that you know you lying. I'll show you that this shit public information, and you can get it just like I just showed y'all right here, my college degree with the seal. You can get that same paper from the CCRD with the seal or not with the seal, depending on how much you want to pay. See, this public, the way the temple set up is public information. It ain't nothing illegal. See, they lying. See, and I ain't even gonna say who, but you got to roll with the real. If not, what you in it for? You in it for some shit, free shit. You in it trying to write some writ. You were doing some criminal shit. You squatting. You want some free. You a bum. And that ain't what this is about. The divine comes first to change this, to show you how to operate on this earth plane. We were the merchants. We were the ones making the money. You got to understand this. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, and then all these Moors talk about some fiat, and I say, where you at work? What you doing? Oh, I cut hair. I say, you do that shit for free? No. Well, where you live at? I stay here. You got clothes on your back? You make your clothes? No. Where you buy your clothes from? The mall? You make your own toothpaste? No. You make your own drawers? No. You make your own food? No. So where you go buy that shit from? The store? What are you talking about, clown? Don't be mad at me. Think about this. A person they talking to you butt ass naked. Excuse my candor up there. They trying to they fiat this, they fiat this. Where you stay? Where you living? How you on social media? How you got your feds? How you got your shirt on? How you eating all that nasty ass chicken from KFC? Your goofy ass eating. Talk to me, man. See, we be out here playing dumbass games, and we afraid of things. Money ain't no good. It's the vessel. Yeah. I mean, people be act like something wrong with finances. Oh, well, we're going to live off the lid. We're going to live off the lid. Man, shut up with that bum stuff. You use your finances to do good, to operate in your community, to not to spend it, just like everybody else. When they operate, when you know what donating to your religious and scientific body consists of. You got to know this. And most NBCs, Moors, they don't know the difference of tax code laws. That's how I operate in my community and how I own things. And how I go back to my city, I go to the schools everywhere and get donations. And when in the neighborhoods, I don't charge a lot because I get the right stuff as in-kind service. Say if my fee $2,500, I say, okay, well, just give me $500 for my time. The $200 go to in-kind service. And just like how I operate, like a lot of my professors at the colleges, they donate to me because they're in a high tax bracket. They say they don't want to give Uncle Sam that money that's sitting in a private banking system. They allow by the law to give me 60% of the taxes that they earn. So if you got a lot of these professors that owe $1 million taxes, they allowed to give me $600,000 and give the other $400,000 to Uncle Sam. And now in some states you can give 100%. So can't nobody tell me I don't know what I'm saying. I'm alumni. When I tell people, can nobody say nothing when I'm gone? That's when I say that. When they say, what you mean when you gone? Because they'll force you to go out of the country. They'll want you to go to teach their schools because they say, hey, man, like I don't have plenty opportunities to teach at the college campus, contingent on me. Stop talking to the people on Instagram. I can show you contracts, man, that they're like, man, we'd love to have you teaching at here, blah, 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 teaching first century history and first century religion, because that's what it is, contingent on you not, speaking on social media to people for free. I just got to be honest. And I was like, damn, wow, like, seriously? Like, I was like, seriously? Straight up? My parents upstairs, they'll tell you. My book, A Divine Creed of Moorish Islam, Sufism, and the Triple Rose, my professors, that's potentates, tried to buy the copyrights on my book. It was like, man, we'll buy this for $10,000. They assigned a group because every time I spoke, they all came. And when I started noticing they sitting on their hands, I really noticed that's when I started noticing the sign of respect. When I said they know everything. So that's all I'm saying, man. This science can go where it needs to be. It's the Moors that support what I'm saying and what they believe, because if you didn't understand and believe and was searching for some truth, you wouldn't be here. And then when it comes to law, it's only one law, Morris. You cannot arbitrarily explain the law. Don't you want somebody to be manufactured when they defend you in any manifestation, for they can rest their case and it will be no rebuttal? You don't want nobody going there basing their understanding on something that they think. That's contempt of court. And in the court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law. I'll lock you up for 72 hours. Why? Because I can. Because you coming in here playing. Come on, Moors. Man, every Moor should know the precedented law that states that you can wear your fez and your turban at work, in the military, and in the courts. Only time at work they don't want you wearing your fez. They want you to take the tassel out if you working with machinery. You got to know the precedented law, the doc number. When I tell you I shoot from the lip, not the hip. You got to understand the pride that you should have in identifying as who you say you are. The misnomer Jew do it with his yarmulke. The misnomer black Muslim wear it, or the Arab Muslim wear it with their kufi. The Jew wear their bonnet. The misnomer Indian wear his turban. And you gonna let somebody strip you down and say, oh, what's that on your head? You should know. This is what we should be teaching, the basics. The divine creed, our bylaws, all that will tell you how it's operate. Moors be jumping straight to some, oh man, I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to be a master writ writer. I want to learn how to write this, and send this letter in to do this and get this. I want to live for free. I want to do this. I want to learn how to do this and do this. And I say, okay, after 5 years you've been in the science, what have you accomplished? After 5 years you've been in the science doing that shit, you got to tell me how your life changed. What happened? Who you help? What your children know? What you know? How you grown? What you done in the community? What do you own? Nothing. Just banging on some dumb shit. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna keep it ain't did nothing. That's banging on one thing. What? Traffic law. Huh? Somebody tell me I'm lying. That's y'all. That's people's main thing. When all these videos that people be having millions and thousands of views for some fucking traffic law. People doing it. I said, dude. I said, come on, man. This ain't new. We talk about this when we talk about habeas corpus and the Sixth Amendment. We talk about the right to face your accuser. Man, this stuff ain't nothing new. This ain't no black law. I don't know what people be thinking. I'm like, come on, man. A person that come to you like they got something magical and then leave you freaking hanging. Because all you got to say, what's the result? Because I don't care what you say. I ought to sit up there and agree the whole time. Because only an intelligent person can play stupid. So I just agree, and be like, yep, okay, I'll wait till the outcome. I'll wait till a year later, won't say nothing, say, what's the outcome of that case? Because I already know. What? Guilty. Or your ass still in there, fuck, because you keep saying, I don't consent. You be sitting in the fucking box for months. So if you know the law, don't nobody sit in no box if they know the law. Don't nobody sit in no fucking box if you know the law. If the longest time you're gonna be somewhere is 7 days, period. And see, and that's why I know people don't know the science. Because the longest you would be somewhere is 7 days if it come down to the come down. If it come down to the come down, the longest you're gonna be in there 7 days. Why? Because we're gonna be down there for 7 damn days. And you're gonna be able to be released to me. Why? If you ain't broke no fucking crime. Because I'm gonna break the law down, the same law that they use to get their ass out. See, that's what I'm telling you. I ain't going down there in the wrong context. Because when people be going down there making the wrong fight, I'm trying to tell you, using the wrong language, thinking they so smart. And I'll be like, dude, if I show you something in the law, the restrictions, you're gonna sit your ass down. You can't arbitrarily explain the law. You cannot do that. In the court of law, that's called fraudulent concealment. Everybody know I'm telling you the truth. Fraudulent concealment. Somebody not telling you the truth of the whole matter. And if you did know the truth, then you wouldn't be doing it. That's fraudulent concealment. Just like I talk about ineffective assistance of counsel is covered in your Fourth Amendment. When I say the pendulum swing the same ways, everybody know I'm telling the truth. See, I don't play that. See, I don't play that shit. I don't need no book. I don't need to be with that goofy ass shit. Well, all you got to do is stand on your square. Man, standing on your square is not with your feet out. Standing on your square is understanding who you are when you come through the door. That's standing on your square. When you come in the door, they know who you are. Ask my mom. Ask my family. I'm in a red state. That's standing on your square. When they know exactly who you are coming through the door, they ain't coming with you with no dumb stuff. Period. That's a fact. You ain't gonna use no linguistic apartheid to me. You ain't gonna come to me with your arbitrary explanation or your connotative views. I don't care about none of that shit. I'm dealing with the facts. The truth will make me free, and then I'm resting my case, and it ain't gonna be no rebuttal. Never. It never be no rebuttal. Why? Because I'm basing it on the truth. If you don't like it, so what? Any questions? I'm just waiting to take my sister to work, man. That's all. I'm just waiting to take her to her profession. People talk that bum stuff. You know, people talk that dumb stuff. I'm like, man, miss me with that. Moors ain't doing nothing. Back in the day when we ain't have nothing, when everybody went working, you had the Black Panthers having lunch programs, and all these brothers making these videos, doing all this shit, and these Negroes living in a community to call themselves Moors. Y'all ain't at least waking up, walking the fucking kids to school, having basketball programs. I mean, nothing. No after school activity where y'all written the damn school because y'all are more Science Temple organized and y'all ain't teaching class. You know what I mean? So gratitude for the donations, man. I just jumped on here and did a lecture this morning. Like, this is not class. Like I tell people, this is just a lecture. You know, and if you ever been to a lecture, and some of us never been to a lecture, when I have class, I teach on particular topics. When I teach in Sunday school, I teach on particular topics. This is just a lecture on particular topics that I want to enlighten people. So when I tell people, man, no disrespect to no one, it's a certain way I let people deal with me. I don't mean no disrespect to no one. It's just like I said, I'm real. I'm an organization. I operate on certain tenets. If a person don't like the way I operate on their tenets, that's okay with me. I operate. This is an organization that I established, that Allah put me in as auspice of. It's a certain way I'm gonna allow people to deal with me. Period. Because all my members operate in that same way and give me the respect. So no disrespect to no one. No matter male or female, I come in love and I come in truth. But this is the way people deal with me. When people disappear and all that and jump in and jump out, it's okay. But like I'm saying, it's things that's a member that's contingent with me. A lot of stuff I'm not answering on here. No disrespect to people. I have to come in love, man. I tell people, I come in love. I just say the same thing, man. It's the way that I deal with people and the way people want to deal with me. If a person was a member and a student, I mean, it's a way to get that information, and it's not going to come from me. That's all I'm saying. It's going to come from my muftis. I respect them. I tell people I do things in order, and being Moorish and being a sheik is a brotherhood. It's the way I do things. Some of my muftis are on here. I don't do that anymore, because when I used to have people come in and I say, this is what it is to be a member with me. And I ask a lot of people, have they been part of churches before in their life and all this other stuff? And I say, what I'm asking is not a lot. And I say, because the value you get with me is going to trump any donation or any membership fee you're going to give. You're going to get 1,000 times the value of the small fee being a member and things. So no disrespect with me. This is a membership. This is a body. If people don't like it, I'm okay with that. They can do whatever they want. But when people disappear and then pop back, and I'm like, I get that. But if a person is a member and things, well, it's certain things contingent on being a member, no matter if you show up or not. And I come in love, and I ask anybody, if I'm a member of something and I see the syllabus and I take the syllabus and I take that, which is a written so-called contract or whatever you want to call it, something that you agree with, because everything is a contract, is mutual. If you get a pair of tennis shoes, you're getting a receipt. So that's fine. I get that. And that's what I tell people. They say they have a temple, and they, you know, when I say they have a temple, I get that. Man, I was part of a temple. I studied everywhere. I'm part of the Philosophical Society. I'm an educator. I'm alumni from GCU. I'm alumni for Cleary University. So that's all I tell people, man. I just keep it respectable. I do this in real life. When I tutor, and if I say I tutor a person for this many months, for this fee, especially college students, that's what it be. No disrespect. Gratitude. You know, they don't disappear and say, okay, well, I'm gonna come back in 3 months, and I say, okay, what about the 3 months that it costs? I said I'm gonna tutor you for this month, for these 3 months, and they don't, and then they pop back up and they might have a hard test, and they know I can help them pass. I said, you forfeited the obligation that you said you would do, not me. That's why when I tell people, when we donate to things and we give, I said, I'm a real body. I can give you, if you filing taxes, which a lot of Moors do, it ain't nothing wrong. I can give you a tax exempt receipt. I'm tax exempt for the federal government. I just told you can give it right now, depending on your state, your law. If you in California, I know right now you only can give 60% of your taxes. So instead of giving Uncle Sam 100% of the taxes, you can donate 60% of your taxes. And all that body have to do is give you a tax exempt receipt. Everybody, if you're giving to your organization, because the more, if you're part of a temple, I hope it's an organization and I hope it's set up in a certain way. And if you're giving money to it, then what? Come on, man. Come on, y'all. And then then more go to the grocery stores and buy things and they don't be honest. I can show you how to operate totally tax exempt when you a body. So that's all I'm saying, man. I come in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I don't come in no other way. But all I say is it's going to be a certain way people deal with me, and they don't have to like it, and I understand it. I'm adults, and we are, and others are adults. And if a person has mental health, I will want to deal with that. One of my muftis, I think he on here, Barclay Bay, or hit up our Temple and School webpage. I mean, bbtsciencetemple.com, and leave a message. He'll respond. bbtsciencetemple.com, bbtsciencetemple.com, and my muftis check it. I think like once a week or maybe once a day, depending on their schedule. And someone will get back with you. Man, I told you, I'm from Flint, Michigan, man. I got a whole group. When I tell people I teach Moors, I teach their children, history, science, mental health, all that. I deal with ADHD. I deal with kids that they think is lost. Yep, bbtsciencetemple.com. Yep. And I say, what's wrong with us sharing these teachers? What's wrong if we this is what I always tell people, man, if we go somewhere and our so-called sheik or whatever is limited, ain't nothing wrong with being illuminated. And that's why I say a lot of this stuff don't get spread, because a lot of Moors that call themselves sheiks or whatever, they be in so much ego, and a lot of times they done oversat their time just for a position. Man, you can be an emeritus if you just want a couple dollars. If that's all you want is a couple dollars, man, you can be an emeritus. We'll set it up for you to get a couple dollars, but you ain't just finna sit here and keep reading over no damn bylaws, and we ain't moving forward, and we don't own nothing, and ain't no families. Ain't nothing happening. We don't have no businesses. We don't have our own education. We ain't even doing nothing what the prophet did back in the day, having their own infrastructure or nothing. We just gonna talk about some license shit and squatting in houses and talk about you some sheriff and your officer. I'd be like, dude, you can be an officer of a body, a municipal, a school, a church, which is synonymous if you understand how the temple was set up. So gratitude to everyone, and thank y'all for the small contributions. It's gratitude. But nobles, y'all should get all the books that I gathered and compiled, especially the Fez book, especially the Divine Creed of Moors Islam. All this stuff is simple, especially for Moors that's in temples and studying and they're really not learning, because a lot of their teachers are not initiated, and it ain't nothing wrong with being initiated. But you got to know some crafts. You got to know the higher science to teach a person if they're sick and they ain't sick in their own manifestation. And you got to be honest and pure. And so you got to be like, yes, this type of teaching that you're not getting because the divine comes first, you know you limited in that. Because a lot of things more is to be part of temples. They don't even know. They don't even know history. And I said, what are you studying? What are you studying? And we got to be honest, man. This is for the resurrection. History, law, civics, science, that all go together. Agriculture, macro, microeconomics, group economics. When we talk about powernomics all day, Claude Anderson, and I say, okay, I'm telling you powernomics right now. How? The same thing that the Albion, the misnomer Jew, the Catholics been doing, operate under the religious laws, the same way I operate. When we say we do things legally and lawfully, when people talk about, oh, I'm gonna show you how not to pay taxes, man, they're gonna show you how to go to jail. That's a European thing. I show you all this all over. It's a way to do things the right way, and you should want to do stuff the right way and be taught the right way, not be taught to be a criminal. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man. Peace out.